Hey all, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel. Today it's just a little bit different. Excuse me. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video. This one is, I'm just going to show you guys the animation process. That's basically really what movesets are. It's just animations. The coding part's relatively easy. The animation's the time-consuming part. So I just want to, I'm doing animations today. I've already done one for the stagger state, which is, those who play the games more competitively know stagger state. I can show you what that animation looks like and you'll probably recognize it. Stagger. So this one I did earlier today. That's the stagger state move. Yeah, so basically when you get knocked back just slightly, it's kind of prolonged, designed for you to be able to link other moves, or sometimes it's used if there's the next move's going to be slower but still needs to connect, then you use stagger state instead of a regular jab, or some moves may end in a stagger state, so you can then follow it up with another kind of combo. So that's kind of what stagger state's used in the game, how it's used in the game, and then after I finished, I'm like, yay, stagger state's in! And then realized, oh yeah, stagger state works both ways, meaning this is the version when you get hit from the front, you'll kind of get knocked back, but what happens when you're facing backwards and you get hit? There's this does not spin you around, so you have to add in a second animation for the same exact state, which is a reversal stagger state from the back. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, and I figured, well, might as well record this one, why not? Hopefully it's a quicker one. There are five key frames, as you call them. Well, 5 primary keyframes that I'll need to be doing. So hopefully it won't take too long. So I won't talk too much further, so we can just kind of get this going. Just for the setup, I didn't go through the entire setup. So just to show you, this is what I'll do is I'll usually use Dolphin, and I'll go through and take a frame-by-frame screenshot of what I'm trying to achieve, and Dolphin automatically numbers them, so that's how I get what frame they are to make these, again, near frame perfect recreation. So this is kind of how that looks. It's a frame-by-frame look at the move, so I can kind of identify what's going. So I don't have to do each frame, so basically what I'll do is I'll first go through the photos and identify the primary keyframes that I'll be actually using as the basis for this animation. I've already identified them, but I'll go through them with you guys. So I basically just look at when Naruto when his movement changes. I'm looking for those shifts in his movement, and then I just have to do those, and then the system will fill in the rest. So the first shift is right here on 3. Basically frames 0 through 3 are the startup frames. Unity will automatically blend those first 3 starting up frames, so I don't have to program frame 0. Whatever they're doing before will be frame 0, and then Unity will automatically blend into this. I'll add that in the coding side. So the first keyframe that I need to add is on frame 3, because as you can see, his movement changes up until here, and then from 3, it goes into a different motion. So I'll need to add in this. This will be my first frame. Primary keyframe. The next one will be, technically he changes again here on frame 12, but it's a minor change. Again, I have way too many animations to do as one person, so I do skip out minor frames because there's just no point. It's not something you'll ever really notice. So I'm going to do from frame 3, I'm going to skip this next change and go all the way down to frame 23. So the first 20 frames, I'm not gonna do much. It's a corner. I'm skipping this middle one, but this whole motion of him going down, having that little extra frame right here isn't gonna really matter. So I'm gonna go straight to 23, and I'll add in some. Yeah, you'll see when we get there. And then my next primary keyframe after 23 will be when he takes this first step, which will be frame 29. And then my next one will be when he goes up. To take his second step, frame 36, and then finally when he goes to the final step here in frame 43. Actually, this is the same pose from the original stagger state that ends here, so I'm actually just going to copy the frame, the primary keyframe from that, and go from there. So I won't even have to do this one because it was already completed on the last one. So the last one I will do is this pose right here, and then that'll be it for me, and then I'll just copy and paste from the other animation. So anyway, let's get started. Excuse me, probably should drink some water. Alright, first primary keyframe is 3. What I like to do is I like to move this to the right side of my screen, stretch it to the top, and move it all the way over. Bring up Unity, and I'll also shrink Unity. Then I zoom in so I can see. Alright, so this is not... Is that 3? No, that's 2. It changed. There we go. That's 3. Alright. Move it over. Okay. Alright, here's our first primary keyframe. I basically, all my attacks, they start with the basic bones already here in this default position. This is not a joint animation, that's what the P2 is for, so since it's not joint, I can delete those, don't need those. Alright, so this is the start of the animation, and from here is kind of where we go. From here to end will be basically what it takes to add in an animation as simple as stagger state reverse. So this record button means it's going to record any changes that I make. If it's not in record, it's not going to save anything. So definitely going to record. And we're going to jump to frame 3 on the timeline. So I always start with the hip because the hip is the basis for, it's the root. Every bone branches from the hip. So I always like to get the hip right, which just, it's kind of just, you look at it and you kind of angle it as best as you can. It's not, they don't have to be perfect frame, like, recreations. As long as they get the gist of it, you won't be able to tell the difference in motion. So that seems to be about right. I'm looking at this pouch to kind of get better angle references, and I look at the curvature of his belt. That helps me as well. Alright, I think that's about it, maybe a little bit further down. I really don't want to move on from the hip until it's where I want it, because once I go from the hip, if I need to make any other changes, it's going to screw up everything else to the hip specifically. So I always like to make sure the hip is as close as possible, because whatever I end up here is going to be what I'm sticking with. So, because I don't have time to go back and correct everything. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. I think it's a little bit further more up. Alright, yeah, that looks good to me. I'm going to go with that one. Alright, next one is going to be the left high leg. So this one, these ones are a little bit more easy because they're linear. You just kind of follow the line. It's not straight down, it's a little bit forward. So that's kind of how I base them. Don't worry about the feet not touching the ground. That comes later with a singular root movement. But I like to, again, get the hip and the basic leg. Basically, any grounded leg, I need to do the grounded leg first before I start changing the height. And I also like to warp the animation to the front angle to make sure it makes sense in real life, because obviously he's this is an attack that's sending him falling forward. He's staggering forward. So with the hip twisted like this, obviously the leg is not properly aligned, so I need to fix the leg from a forward standing standpoint. So, so his force of gravity is pulling forward, so he's got to catch himself with this leg. So this leg's going to be bent kind of this way. Maybe a little bit inwards. Foot needs to come back that way. Alright. What's up the foot? Low leg. No. This needs to be 0. There we go. Your knee doesn't really twist, so I only bend the knee on the Z axis. The knee on the Z axis. Your knee can't really, yeah, you see that? I mean, that's painful just looking at his leg twist that way. So I always want to make sure the knee is always there. Okay, anyway, there we go. That's about where I want it to be from a forward-facing standpoint. Maybe a little bit more inwards like that. Okay, all right, so now that I got the forward, I'm going to come back to the side and make sure, and realign it to make sure it looks like the picture. Okay, so again, yeah, that's about right. This needs to come back straight a little bit more. About there. All right, foot. Okay, that's about, I'm going to go with that one. And then now I'm going to apply a root motion. I'm going to bring the whole model down. Root is not tied to them, it's just the general model's position. I like to use that for height-based things, because the hip twisting is in spot. It pivots here at the center, so I usually get the center pivot correct first, and then I'll bring the whole model down so that the feet are touching the ground. So they're not quite touching yet, so I'm just going to switch my tool here to the root and just bring that down until it's touching, and I like even numbers. We're just going to go with, yeah, 11. Well, not even numbers, but like simple numbers that make sense. 2 is too far, so 1, 1 makes sense. All right. As whole, I guess I like whole numbers, as whole of a number as possible, inclusive of decimals. Oh, no, wrong one. Foot. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. That leg's done. Next leg. It's going to be about It's also good to look at negative space. What does this shape look like in the negative space? And that helps me get my angle better. I think this leg is bent just ever so slightly. Foot. Alright. Hopefully you guys don't get too bored of my voice. Alright, come back to the front. See, it's completely fucked, so I need to fix it. Because again, he's falling forward. Alright, like that. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, now let's move on to his torso. Or I guess make sure the leg looks right first. I think it's a little higher, actually. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, cool. Alright, next is waist. I'm gonna have to rotate it this way. I'm looking at this part to get that angle right, and it is twisted a bit like that. It's almost flat, but not quite. And then the breast, I just like to get these two's general down. Alright. They really got a bend in this back. Oh, I see. Alright. Yeah. It's about like that. Okay, yeah, that looks like that makes sense. Alright. Let's come back to the front and make sure this aligns gravity-wise, which it doesn't. I need to pull this over just a bit. Alright, because gravity's pulling them forward, that's about right gravity-wise. Okay. Come back over here to make sure it looks about like it does over here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just close enough. Actually, I think this should be bent that way a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, it's more like that. Make sure that makes sense from the front still. He's a little bit left heavy, but you know what, that's fine. Because in the next frame, I think is when he starts to catch himself on the other foot. That's the point of staggering. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to do these hands. Or arms, I guess. Same thing with the elbow. We don't really twist our elbows, really. So I only use the Z-axis for elbow animations. So if I need to rotate, I always use the upper arm for rotations. Okay, it's about right there. Maybe a little bit higher, like that. And don't worry about the fingers. There are so many fingers. I don't manually animate every finger. They have general hand poses. Usually it's usually fists or kind of relaxed. These are relaxed hands. The other Stagger set uses relaxed hands, so at the very end of this I'll copy paste the relaxed hands into here because they don't really change the animation, they're just relaxed. So they may look outwards for now, and then at the end I'll come back to that and fix those. As many shortcuts as possible. So when the hands are behind, like the body here, and I can't see, I don't care too much about what it looks like. As long as it makes sense, and I know the general, like the hand obviously needs to stick up, so that's when I'll usually just do something that makes sense. So he obviously just got hit, so there is going to be a bend in that elbow, a slight bend. I do know his arm's going to be up, because again his arms were mid, and when he goes back, obviously that's how physics work, so arms are going to go upwards. It's probably going to be pulled back a little bit closer to balance, something like that. And then I'll just come over here to fix it. And I usually end up about right. So you see, I'm just going off of what physics should be. I was pretty close. I just need to correct this downwards a bit, actually. About right there. And that's about it. Yeah, like that. And that looks pretty good. Yeah, that makes about sense. And just to kind of, I like to leave the T-pose here, so this is the motion so far. He starts to fall forward. This is just blending from T-pose, but in the game he'll blend from whatever pose he's in. Boom. So I need to make sure that head is falling more forward, and right now it is falling quite left. So I just need to make sure on the next frame I correct that trajectory to fall forward and not really to the side. All right, or I guess to his right. All right, neck. I also will only bend the neck on the Z axis usually. I mean, the neck can bend left and right, but it's rare that I will actually be using these. And I usually use a lesser degree, so I'll just do 15 degrees, and then I'll use this to rotate the actual head. And I'll do 30 degrees. There we go. Yep, that's about right. All right. How did the... Is this upper arm? I swear this upper arm wasn't like that before. Oops, that's like... I'm just gonna... I guess maybe the camera's just higher. Anyway, oh, and hand. This needs to get this way just so slightly. Alright. Alright, that's it. We're done with that keyframe. Let's go on to the next one. Primary keyframe. Next one is we're skipping that middle change and we're going straight to here. 23. Alright. Stuff is fun, isn't it? Okay. Oh, animations. Okay, 23. Again, let's start off with that hip. It's gonna be... yeah, right around there. It's really hard when they're like the camera's at an angle, like for throws and things like that. That's really hard because then I have to like correct visually when the camera's like rotated and correct the angles visually. That gets hard, but fortunately this one's still a straight angle. All right, I think it's about there. All right. Bring this light back down. It's about here. It's gonna be bent almost straight. This one's a little bit higher. Yeah, right around there. The foot's gonna be at a very uncomfortable angle. Okay. And let's correct this from the front. Okay. It needs to come over this way a lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring the root down. This is just so I can line up the feet. Lining up feet on the ground is the hardest part about programming. I'm sorry, animating, and the part that I hate the most. Because it's not even a... Alright, that's about it, roughly. Oh, hold on, is it starting in the ground? Oh, there. Oh, and it should actually be more that way. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so here, I'm just gonna mark on the screen where his heel in so I can line it up. Oh, we're way off. Okay, that's fine. I can also adjust that with the root, but I won't do that immediately. Yeah. That is okay. What we'll do is we'll come around here to the middle, and then we'll just raise the root a little bit. Let me see. Actually, is that what I want to do? It's coming down. Yeah. Just the foot a little bit. Root. Doesn't have to be perfect again. This is something you're going to be seeing at incredibly high speeds. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just close enough. Oh, he's not touching here. There we go. Foot. Yeah. And I also have the screen down here too, so I can just kind of see it from another angle. All right. So from here. All right, yeah, that's a good motion. I like that. All right. Hate feet. On the ground specifically. All right. Another situation where the leg is obscured by the rest of the body. So I can get relatively creative here with how this motion looks. It looks like the knee is also up, but not enough to be revealed. This leg is just slightly up like that. Foot is out. And it does look like the knee kind of comes out more. Yeah, that's what I thought. So more like this. Yeah, it's more like that. Yeah. I'm pulling! Shit! Okay. Alright. This needs to come over that way. There we go. All right, close enough. Woo. Alright, yeah, that's good. And one thing that did happen in this animation is the legs did change, so I will come back and get that leg motion. Alright, so leg goes out, then it's up until here. Frame 11, it's still up. Alright. So just for this leg is why I'm coming back. So don't need to do the whole root motion, but just for this frame here. I need to see how low the leg is. The leg should still be up. So I'm just going to correct that for this leg specifically. We're going to do global. Just raise that leg straight back. Just make sure it makes sense from the front, which it doesn't. Yeah, it should be like that. Yeah. Cool. And just to keep the toe from going through the ground, what I'll do is I'll come here, kind of like right in between those two, and I'll just raise this lower leg a little bit. There. Here, I'll put it here. Stay aligned. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, we'll stop. All right. Back to where we were on frame 23. Okay, back to 23. Okay, we are big. Waist, excuse me. Waist has moved a little bit, probably more that way. A little bit further back up, but not too much. A little bit like that. Rest. Let's also come up a bit, but not too much. Rotate it more that way, more like that. About there, let me see how this looks from the front. All right. Okay, yeah, that's good, because he kind of falls, kind of staggers towards the left here, and he needs to start falling, staggering back towards the right to show he's pulling that other leg forward and also bringing his center of gravity back. That's good. Like it. Do 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 do. 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 That's more out, yeah. And ooh, this is, hold on, this whole angle is wrong. His arm is up. Like this, yeah. Let's see how this looks from this angle. Yeah, that's good, because he's pulling that arm back to bring his gravity back. All right, cool. His center of gravity back. All right. Hoif. This arm is now way up in front. Twist his hand. All right. Well, it looks like it could be more two inwards, but let's see. So we're falling forward. That hand may come back out here. We'll let it slide. I'll put it back. We'll let it slide for now, right there. Just leave it there for now. I may make some edits to that, because it doesn't look perfect. That neck still down. Oh, we got a frame ahead. Let's move that back. That neck's about the same, so we'll just copy and paste the last frame. The head is turned now, like that. that looks from the front. Yeah, that's good. All right, and that is the next keyframe done. On to the next. From there, we're gonna catch ourselves with that first step. So here on frame 29, there's only one more to go after this one, fortunately, which is copy and paste it. So we're almost done. Say this one's one of the more quicker ones, so hopefully this video's not too long. I don't know, I haven't been timing it. I should have timed it probably. Let me check the cam. Oh shoot, we're already at 30 minutes. Oops. Cool, well let's hurry up and finish this, because 30 minutes is a long video. Okay, hit, as usual. Now we are, it's a weird hit movement. Yeah. Okay, it's about there. I'm just gonna pull the root up a little bit right now, just so I can, yeah, and I'll adjust it in a second. All right. This leg is now out and about. Yeah, it's pretty much straight down. This leg is at a slightly downward curve. This foot is still in an incredibly uncomfortable position, though it's starting to realize it's uncomfortable and uncurl. Okay. This one doesn't have to be perfectly aligned with the ground because now he's pivoting to the other leg. Oop, wrong one, this one. So the other leg will then take over from here as being the grounded leg. All right, so this leg needs to be like that. Yeah, about here. Needs to come back. Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. So yeah, that makes about sense. Bring this a little bit more closer. It's supposed to be right around. We'll go with 3, and then I'll just do this. Just bring it like down like that. All right. Now let's make this leg cooperate as the new founder of one ground legs. All right, so he's catching his weight. And it's all of this for just the tiniest move. That's why animation is just so so annoying, because like you spend all this time and effort and then like you don't even really get to see the immediate benefits of it, which is fine, you know, such is life. It's like that. It's more out. Yeah, it's more outward with the leg pointing inwards. So he's more out here, I think. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and then he catches his knee there. A little spread. Yeah. Sounds about, or looks about right. Straighten up that foot. Pull this low leg out just a little bit. Around. I'm getting better at it. doing them a little bit faster, getting better at finding which corners I can cut to speed it up, like earlier when I eliminated that whole other one. Okay, yeah, that's about fine. Other than the phasing. So what we will do is right here in the center, and that foot goes underneath. I'll bring this up further. I will pull this foot more forward, and then I'll actually utilize the toes for this one. Go ahead and get those toes bent. Sometimes you gotta do it. But, there we go. Alright. So he's down. If there's a little bit of clipping, I'm not too worried about it, as long as the gist is not. And then unbend the toe. Yeah. Alright, it's looking good. Now we gotta keep this foot on the ground. Ugh. Okay. Ooh, and I think this is the last keyframe, actually. And the next one can get copy-pasted. And then I'll just fill in some of the gaps. Alright. Just comes back a little bit, rotates that way. He's catching himself, throwing himself on that right side. So now his back's going to start twisting that direction. Bring this arm back. Around there, straighten it out. Raise it some. Praise him, raise him, as they say. Praise him, raise him. Rotate that hand. Alright, let's see what this generally looks like. Not super great. I can work with it, but this breast needs to come way back over waist. Yeah. I'll work with it, see what happens. Split second animation. By the way, we're on frame 29. There are 60 frames in a second on this timer, so this is literally basically right at the halfway point of half a second. So all of this motion is all happening in just half a second. So that's why it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's going to happen so fast. If there's a little bit of clipping, your eye probably wouldn't even pick up that it clipped. Right, it's about where I need it to be. Let's go ahead and do this other hand, which is now come down. I just need to come over here and see what's happening. Yeah. Move it up. How's that look? That's the gist of it. What does that motion look like? Just want to make sure that hand does not clip through the knee. Because that, even though you don't see the clipping, I gotta make sure that motion is not happening, because that can make it feel unnatural. If the motion is showing that the hand is gonna go through the knee, that can get really weird in game. So I always wanna make sure there's plenty of clearance between body parts going through each other. That's what she said. That hand's really close. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna come back and bring this arm out a little bit more. Just so that way in between. Maybe what I'll do is here in the middle, too. I'll just rotate a little bit. Bring this upwards. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. We'll go with that. Fingers will curl, so hopefully they don't clip. We will keep the neck where it is. And the head. Let me reset this head. Alright. Up there. Yeah, now it's coming back. Yep, that works for me. It's good for me, I like that. And last but not least, I think... Oh, do we have another one? Oh, Can I skip that? He steps up. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna skip it, but I'll still need to fix the legs. So yeah, I'm gonna skip that one. No, but the head goes back. Yeah, the head goes back. I gotta add this one. I didn't realize that one right there. Yeah, I need to add 36. Yeah. Not done yet. So annoying. Alright. That was 36, right? Yeah, 36. Okay, cool. Ugh. We just can't finish this. And this is just the animation, not even including the programming. I don't even know if I should do that part. Maybe I'll finish the animation, do that as one video, and then do programming as a second video. Okay, hit. As usual. Get this arm out the way because it's blocking where I need to be seen. But just for now, I'm getting it out the way. Alright, there we go. So I can line up that belt and pouch. About it right there. Just like before, I'm just going to raise this up a little bit just so I have something better to work with space-wise and fix it later. Okay. Leg. I'm just going to do the rough premise of where this leg is, and then I got to readjust it after I fix the other leg. So it's roughly right around there. Alright. And then this is the most important leg because this is the leg that is on the ground. Have it bend about there. Okay, let's go to the straight, and this is really bad. Okay, we're gonna bring this leg over. Just gonna be more like this. Let's see where it was before. Oops. All right. So the leg is right there, roughly, and now it's There's so much more I gotta do when I get to the, once I finish the overall and get to the programming part. Because, yeah, there's a combination between, obviously he's not moving, he's standing still in the animation, so I've got to add in, obviously the model's moving forward, so I've got to make sure that all lines up. It's definitely a process. Alright, that leg looks about right. Oops. Alright, this one would be about there. Does that make sense? Let me fix the height. About there. Right. Woo! Okay. Yeah. Why does it look weird? The hip's not... Yeah, it's not moving. Maybe I need to fix the waist before it looks right, because it doesn't look right. That motion. I guess that's what I get for skipping. The leg definitely needs to stay inwards. It's like damage control at this point. Huh? Yeah, that motion of that leg walking. Right. It's getting better. Touch it. Getting feet to stay on the ground, especially while walking, is the worst. Foot. Spin it just ever so slightly. Bring this down just a tiny bit, like that. Alright, how does this look? Not too bad. Not too bad. When everyone's moving, you won't notice it too much. Okay. All right, not too bad. All right, we'll stick with that for now. Okay, we don't need the toe for that one. Let's fix this leg actually. This leg is bad. Alright. It's kind of like, yeah, like that. That's more words. Maybe it's a little bit more in words. Because you gotta walk more towards the middle to keep it funny up. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Okay. Waste. We're starting to lean back a little bit now. Press. Not that far back. A little twist. Yeah, about right there. It's probably incorrect. Needs to come a little bit more this way. Actually, this is hard. Too much. Yeah, that's about right. Now we can put this arm where it's supposed to be. About right there. Arm. Hand. Does that make sense? It's a bit awkwardly out. Yes. Yeah, I'll bring it in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Leave it alone. Other arm has come down and back. Just use this as a reference. Yeah, that's about right. Cannot see what the hand is, so I'll just get creative. Do what makes sense. Alright. You fall. Come up. Yeah, that's fine. Neck is now back a little bit. Let's just reset this head. Which will now be tilted. Kind of like that. There we go. Ooh. Okay, and now this is the last one that I can copy paste, which is the foot coming forward. Excuse me. I'm going to come back to the old animation. This frame is the same. I'm just going to copy all of those. I'm going to stag back. I don't know why I exited this. I still need this. That is 43. Don't know why I exited that. Okay, frame 43 on back 43. Okay. Okay, it's not perfectly exactly the same, but this is what we're using. This is... I'm not doing this any further. Alright, and that's it. Well, not it, but like, this is it for the keyframes. So now I've got to go back and make sure all the sliding stuff works. So, ooh, like there, where his foot completely comes off the ground, cannot happen. Alright, so that's going to be all root position. So now I've got to do the root position stuff to make sure this makes sense. Okay. Starting from frame 3. Here. This should not be happening. So what's the next motion? So that foot. Here, what I'll do is come down to there. So 325. And rotate this foot upwards. And make sure it all slides. Jeez, so much work. Foot. Okay. Ooh, that sliding is obnoxious. Look how the foot's sliding all around. Here I need to do another corrective. I think the whole leg needs to kind of go that way. Yeah. Alright. Then recorrect this foot. I'll bring the low leg down a little bit, just so that it's a slightly harsher angle for that foot. So that angle is harsh. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Didn't I just fix this one? I just fixed this. I swear I just fixed this one. And it's back in the air. I swear. So bring the root down. Okay. There we go. Good enough. All right. This also should not be underground for this foot. I'm also not a fan of the angle there. So let's correct that foot angle. Yeah, this stuff gets pretty niche. I'm not going to pull the whole root up for this. But I will, oops, wrong leg. I will pull this lower leg up just slightly. Root, or lower leg. All right. Yeah. Oop. That's pretty nasty. Just slightly. This is that quality, making sure that the animations are high quality. Okay. Or higher quality. Let's just pull this whole leg out. Yeah. And we'll Flipping. Alright. That is a lot of skating over here, considering all of his weight is supposed to be on that leg, or as of this frame. Oh my gosh, the skating is real. Should be going back, not sideways. Just do that. It's like, how far do I tweak before I'm just like overkilling it and wasting time? You guys can see how much time I've spent on it already. AKA too much. Okay, whatever. The next thing I need to do is account for motion. Oh, hold on, let me fix this other foot here to keep it from clipping. What I need to do is here, I need to progress this further, and then bring this up. So what is this? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Love that, and then you catch. Boom! Done. Alright. So the next thing I need to do is motion. Guys, how long is this video? Jesus, an hour. So motion is, obviously, the animation is standstill, but the character model is going to be moving. So I need to make sure that the, basically the feet are sliding. And I can now get rid of these, the T-pose on startup by doing this. Oh, and I'll also go ahead and get the hands in here. I'll just go get them from the previous animation. For the fingers, just copy all of those, step back. Boom! Alright. And now his fingers are correct. Alright, so this is where we're starting. Okay, and then I need to make sure this motion makes sense. So he's getting hit forward, so momentum's going to be going forward from here. So that foot's going to also, that means the foot will be sliding backwards, and it's already going in the ground. Why is the foot in the ground? How many times have I edited these? No, I swear to God. I swear some of these moves are not saving because I've checked these. Or maybe I did this one and didn't fix these other ones. Jesus, it gets so annoying. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me go back here and try to line these up yet again. Which is not too hard. Okay. Okay, there. Okay, back to root. Okay, so this foot needs to be sliding backwards because the model in real time will be moving forward. So these feet need to slide backwards in a natural way that I will then line up later via programming. So when the attack starts, that foot needs to start moving back, and it is doing that naturally. But then it stops and starts to come forward. That means it needs to do a correction. And then here, rinse and repeat. Foot should go backwards. Yep, okay, perfect. So I need to work backwards forward because I need to end with this X position being 0, because that means the animation's lined up. So this is where we're starting. So from here, and I also need my final motion where the motion will stop. So I'm going to use here. So slide back until we're here. Okay, yeah, that works. So we're stopping the motion on 36 by a code. So everything from here needs to go in a direction that's correct. So that foot should go forward. This foot should be going forward. So yeah, it looks like the whole model needs to go forward. Starting here. So here. Yeah. But how far? Pretty far. 1. I'm just guessing at this point. Okay. Maybe 1, 2, 5. But yeah. And I gotta carry that over to all the other ones too. So like here as well. So it's gonna go. Whoa. Okay. Slide forward. That should have gone forward. It goes 2. Let's bring this back to like 1. Not going to be perfect, as I always say. I don't want to go too far forward because then the animation starts looking, yeah, it starts to get weird in motion. Okay, that kind of works. Boom, boom, boom. Start the motion. He comes back. Right there slows down quite a bit. So the feet won't line up perfectly, but I think I can get away with that. It's like a lot there. So let's see, how can I reduce it that amount? Maybe start in 3. So 3, 3, 3. This is so hard. So we're not stopping here. 0.01. This is so niche. I hate this. This is like the worst part. Okay, it's not the worst part, but these damn feet. So 3. 3 is really far to start. This can be... Just gotta slow that feet speed. I gotta spread out how far the feet go between each keyframe, but there's no point of reference. So maybe this comes back to 3. Alright, so... oh, that's it! That's it! That's smooth! Smooth enough. Okay, and that's it. Yes! Hell yes, that's smooth. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I like that. It's smooth enough. So we start at 0.3, go as far back as 3.5, and then bring it all back. What I might do, because that 3 is 3.5, I may just bring the whole animation back. No, I won't, because it's gonna throw it off and they come back. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. And 36 will be when the motion stops. So this is when the physical motion will stop. So the feet will continue to slide until 36. And on frame 36, the motion will stop and the feet should stay placed where they are from here. And they do. Boom. And then the whole model kind of like takes the walk forward. All right, perfect. That's the animation. All of that for stagger state. And then basically this is the last primary keyframe, and then I will fade from here to buy a code back into their stance, and that'll cover all that. Perfect. So we got stagger state from behind, and you see the feet sliding here. This one was kind of cool because like you slide and only until frame 22, and then from there the whole model moves. And then yeah, and then for the back stagger, it's just different. The whole model slides, yeah, until we're here. Yay! All right, perfect. Ending this video here. You guys have a great night. I will do a part 2, which shows the coding side of things. Cheers.